Have you ever wondered what secrets Cleopatra, the legendary queen of Egypt, hid behind her enigmatic figure beyond her famous romance with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony and her tragic end full of theories that we will tell you about later? Cleopatra's life is full of mysteries and curiosities that rarely come to light. In this fascinating journey through the past, I will take you to discover 12 curiosities about Cleopatra that you have probably never heard before. From her exceptional education to her contributions to science and medicine, passing through her influence in the world of art and fashion, we will delve into the most intriguing corners of the life of this historical figure. If this is your first time on the channel, subscribe now so you don't miss any important content about the most important chapters of our history. Cleopatra had a complex ethnic ancestry that included Macedonian, Greek, Egyptian, Persian, and Syrian origins. This multicultural heritage allowed her to connect with various cultures and establish effective diplomatic relationships, consolidating her power in a diverse Egypt. Her Greek ancestry gave her a connection to Hellenistic culture, while her Egyptian lineage allowed her to understand and gain the respect of her Egyptian subjects. Additionally, Cleopatra was a polyglot and spoke at least 7 languages, which facilitated her communication with foreign leaders and her diverse population. Her linguistic ability gave her a diplomatic advantage and reflected her education and dedication to study. From a young age, Cleopatra received a complete education in mathematics, philosophy, astronomy, and rhetoric. This training, along with observing her family's administration, prepared her to govern with intelligence and skill. Her love for literature and the arts was also remarkable. Cleopatra immersed herself in the works of great writers and philosophers, and her personal library in Alexandria was extensive. Furthermore, she sponsored poets and artists, fostering culture and using her literary knowledge to inform her government and communicate with other leaders. Her legacy in literature and art distinguishes her as a prominent political and cultural figure. Cleopatra stood out as an exceptional political strategist, capable of skillfully navigating a world dominated by men and in constant change. Her political cunning and ability to forge strategic alliances were fundamental to maintaining power and stability in Egypt during her reign. Cleopatra understood the importance of international relations and used her charm and persuasion to gain the favor of powerful leaders like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Through these political alliances, Cleopatra secured the military and economic support necessary to protect the Egyptian throne from internal and external threats. One of her greatest achievements was her ability to remain in power despite constant threats and conspiracies against her. She used her ingenuity and ability to manipulate situations in her favor, managing to neutralize her opponents and consolidate her authority as the legitimate ruler of Egypt. Furthermore, Cleopatra was an expert in diplomacy and negotiation, skills that allowed her to establish beneficial relationships with other kingdoms and cultures. She understood the importance of cultivating strategic alliances and maintaining a balance of power in the region, which enabled her to preserve Egypt's independence and sovereignty during her reign. The coins bearing Cleopatra's face were a powerful propaganda tool and a symbol of her power and authority. Circulating throughout the Ptolemaic Empire and beyond, these coins spread Cleopatra's image as the legitimate queen of Egypt, reinforcing her political position and influence in the region. Additionally, the coins featuring her portrait were a way to celebrate her achievements and legacy. Some depicted her with the attributes of goddesses like Isis or Aphrodite, reinforcing her image as a divine and powerful ruler. These coins were also a testament to Cleopatra's ability to defy the conventions of her time. By appearing on the coins, Cleopatra broke with tradition and became one of the first women to be portrayed in this manner, thus challenging established gender roles. Although Cleopatra was known for her political pragmatism, she also showed a deep interest in religion and spirituality. She identified with the goddess Isis, one of the main deities of the Egyptian pantheon, and proclaimed herself the earthly incarnation of the goddess. This identification not only granted her a divine status among her subjects but also strengthened her connection with the Egyptian population and legitimized her rule. Cleopatra actively promoted the cult of Isis and participated in religious ceremonies, making her a central figure in Egypt's spiritual and cultural life. She depicted herself in statues and reliefs with the attributes of Isis, such as the papyrus throne and the scepter, reinforcing her connection with the goddess and her power over the Egyptian people. Her interest in religion was not just a political tool to consolidate her power but also a way to present herself as a charismatic and powerful leader capable of inspiring devotion and loyalty among her followers. Cleopatra's era witnessed a flourishing of scientific research and exploration in Egypt. Cleopatra played an active role in supporting these endeavors, financing expeditions into the interior of Africa and sponsoring research projects in various fields such as astronomy, medicine, and engineering. This investment in scientific research not only promoted the advancement of knowledge in ancient Egypt but also contributed to Cleopatra's prestige and influence as an enlightened and progressive ruler. She understood the value of science and knowledge for the development of her civilization and therefore actively encouraged it during her reign. One of Cleopatra's most ambitious projects in the field of scientific research was the creation of the Museum of Alexandria, an advanced study center that attracted some of the best scientists and scholars of the time. In this center, research was conducted in areas such as astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy, contributing to the advancement of human knowledge. Additionally, Cleopatra sponsored exploration expeditions into the interior of Africa to expand geographical knowledge and discover new natural resources. These expeditions not only enriched the knowledge of the time but also strengthened Egypt's economy by opening new trade routes and resource sources. Cleopatra's relationship with Julius Caesar was one of the most significant episodes of her life and had a lasting impact on the history of the ancient world. Beyond romance and passion, this relationship was fundamentally a strategic political partnership for both leaders. Cleopatra saw in Caesar a powerful ally who could help her maintain the Egyptian throne against her internal and external rivals. On the other hand, Caesar saw in Cleopatra an opportunity to expand his influence in the region and consolidate his power. Cleopatra viewed Julius Caesar as a strategic opportunity to secure Egypt's resources and consolidate her power in the eastern Mediterranean. Her alliance with Caesar not only ensured Egypt's independence but also altered the balance of power in the region, cementing Cleopatra's rise as an influential figure. The relationship was solidified with the birth of their son, Caesarion, whom Caesar recognized as his heir. This strengthened the ties between Egypt and Rome, although it also generated controversy in Rome, where some saw Caesarion as a threat to the imperial succession. Despite political intrigues, Cleopatra and Caesar maintained their alliance until Caesar's assassination in 44 BC. After Caesar's death, Cleopatra allied with Mark Antony, further strengthening her influence in Roman and Egyptian politics. Cleopatra's motherhood, with children from both Caesar and Mark Antony, was a crucial political tool. Her children represented strategic alliances and ensured the continuity of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The birth of Caesarion, in particular, was significant as a symbol of the union between Egypt and Rome, and his existence caused concern in Rome. Cleopatra's death is one of the most legendary events of antiquity. Traditionally, it is said that she committed suicide by letting a snake bite her, although some suggest she may have been poisoned by order of Octavian. Her death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Roman domination in Egypt. However, her legacy endured. Cleopatra remains a fascinating and enigmatic figure, immortalized in art and culture. Her tragic end has captured the imagination throughout the centuries, symbolizing her courage and dignity. If you've made it this far and learned something new with our stories, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Together, we can discover and remember the truths that history often tries to hide.